Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope you're doing really well in this moment in time, and that whenever and wherever you happen to be on this marvelous, magical matrix, that you are able to conduct your magic in a correct manner. Now, there's a lot of leeway with magic, and there's a lot of different kinds of people who perform magic. And I'm not talking about magicians and children's parties, of course. I'm talking about witches. Woo! And maybe you call yourself a mage, or a magician, or a wizard, or, dare I say, a warlock. I try to say that like Esmeralda on Bewitched. One of my favorite shows growing up. So, okay, this is the thing. I had to do something, which I'm not going to discuss exactly what I did, but I had to do something for a friend today. And I had to call upon angels. And I had to free some beings. And I'm not going to really talk too much about it. But when you call upon angels, make certain, especially if this is going to be magic, first of all, no matter what ritual, what magic thing, whether it's a ritual, a spell, whether there's salt and candles and incense involved, or just your imagination, you need to ask the divine, your higher guidance, if it's okay for you to do this. You have to tell your higher guidance, what is the magic for? What is your desired result? Is this going to cause harm to anybody? Now, if you're not a Wiccan, that doesn't matter as much. But if you are a human being living on planet Earth and you give a crap about karma coming back and boomeranging you in the ass, then, oh my good golly gosh, yes, it's absolutely imperative to know what your karmic retribution will be, restitution. Because maybe it'll be good karma for you. Maybe it will be bad karma or neutral. Good or neutral or good, obviously. And bad, not so much. So even though you're very, 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 very angry at someone, maybe you want to, send their energy back to them, that's okay. Do it with love and light from a higher position, a higher vibrational point. Now, the task that I was faced with tonight, the situation is terrible. I talked about it last week for a bit. My friend was being visited by an evil being. I'll just say being. I know the kind of being now. In fact, it was 3 beings, but she was being visited by an evil being because somebody got fired from their job like 5 years ago, and it felt like revenge is necessary for 5 whole freaking years. Because they're petty ass. Well, anyway. Like, whatever, dude. Like, just get another job, moron. Anyway, it's like, I mean, these people are karma for days. And I'm not going to talk about who did it, but they start delving into voodoo. They start delving into black magic. They're just doing all kinds of crap. And God showed me that they're never going to heaven. Like, they're just going to come back immediately after they die, be born again immediately, probably to dark soul parents. Oh, okay. God just told me their timeline's going to be clipped out of the world we're all in or headed towards. So keep raising your vibration. And so if you're angry about something that someone did to you or a friend or anybody else, if you're the rescuer and you want to wear a cape and, here I've come to save the day. Don't do anything out of anger. Try to see the whole picture. Use a holistic viewpoint. Now, this is not what happened, but a friend of mine did mention that many times people who have very, very, very powerful black magic will enslave fairies or deva. The fairies that are in charge of the other fairies, right? Because then they will take their power and drain it and use it for their evil purposes, or they will force the fairy who is now a slave and not a sovereign being to attack people. And so they will, do all kinds of horrible things. I don't even know exactly what to do or how to do it. I'm not an evil person, so I don't know. I haven't gotten the evil handbook, so I don't know. But when you see a situation where someone's being attacked by a being, no matter what kind of being it is, and you tend to get mad, like, why is this being attacking? A lot of times it's because it's an enslaved being by someone who's evil. And the point of that one is to just unenslave the being. Make an accord first. If I unenslave you, promise me you're never going to come after me, anybody I know. You're going to get away from my friend or my client. And you're free as a sovereign being to go immediately after the people who enslaved you. I mean, karma. But before you do any of this crap, it's better to ask your divine guidance. Whether you say Jah, Allah, Yahweh, Ra, God, Prime Creator, Goddess, or even a lesser god or goddess that walked upon the earth, or an ascended master or whatever. You have to ask God. You have to ask God, like the big, the highest power okay? And get permission. Because it could backfire on you. And no one wants anything backfiring on them because, karma. So once you get permission, then you ask God to send the angelic beings. You don't call upon the angelic beings directly, especially if you're dealing with angelic beings that you found in a book or a deck of cards, because you don't know if that angelic being is in human form right now or not. Because the Prime Creator allowed a lot of us to be in human form and to become humans and to understand humanity from the level of being a human. Whereas we were angels before and we did only God's bidding, we were given free will, which was a gift. And we lost our wings, which doesn't feel so much like a gift. But, we're not able to just, fly between the worlds as easily. We could still go, I go to heaven a lot at night. I go visit my family that passed. I go and talk to friends that I don't even recognize when I'm awake. And sometimes I just go and I rest in a house that I've got there. Now, beings that are evil, people that choose the dark path, they don't have higher selves helping them. They don't have the benefit of a holy guardian angel helping them. They forfeited the right to help from above. And they call upon help from below, and then sometimes they enslave those beings as well. And what happens is eventually when they die, they're either going to be born immediately or they might just go to hell for a long freaking time. They might not even ever find redemption. They might just be like, I'm on a dark path, and there you go, in 100 million incarnations possibly. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe it's 10 incarnations, but they're all horrible. Maybe they live a Captain Pike existence in the future lives where they're in a big box painted silver with 2 buttons on it, and they have to blink their eyes for yes and no. Okay, that doesn't ever happen, but if you've ever seen the absolute first ever Star Trek episode, You know what I'm talking about. I mean, the original, like 1965 series. Anyway, it's older than me anyway. So you have to make sure that God sends you protection. You have to make sure that your client or friend is protected. You got to, there's all kinds of things. But let's just talk about regular magic. I'm not going to talk about my specific case that I had tonight. It's really creepy. I have 100.3 degree fever today. I kept feeling yesterday like weird, like I had a fever, and I kept taking my temperature and it was like 97.5, which is insane. For those of you who are on the metric system, I have no idea what that is, but I know for Fahrenheit, it's 98.6 is normal. And 1 degree either way is fine. And so I was like 0.1 degree below what's normal. And I thought, well, that's odd. And I thought maybe because I drank water, kept making excuses because you know how you do when you don't want to be sick. And so I checked my temperature before I went out to pay my rent today. And it was normal. It's actually 0.1 degree below the median range of normal. So I was fine. I was within the normal range. In fact, my temperature was taken by 2, not 1, but 2 men with one of those, ray gun thermometers that don't touch you. And they told me to hold up my wrist. So I did. And both times my temperature was fine. It was in the normal range. So let us hope and pray that I didn't get anybody sick. And now I came upstairs and I was like, wow, my head kind of feels hot. I don't know. I mean, I'm wearing a alpaca wool hoodie all the way covered head up. And I'm wearing a Misfits, my favorite Misfits bandana over my ears, over my head, with the alpaca hoodie over that. And then on top of that, I have another hoodie that it says Adidas, but we know some grandma in northern Ecuador made it. So yay for the family that came up with this design. I love this design because it's not really a real Adidas, of course. It's like really strange fabric. Very much a poly blend, but more poly than anything, polyester. Anyway, I've got that hoodie on too. I've got like 3 hoodies on. And on my legs, I have a big, I don't know, I feel it's like an alpaca wool blanket. Maybe it's a llama wool blanket. Well, it's like a giant ass scarf, actually. And someone left it behind in the hostel. And they went to get their flight back to Europe. I'm sure they're not going to come back for a scarf, So they probably didn't even miss it until they got home for a week or 2. So I just sent them love and light and took their damn scarf, which they left on my bed anyway. So, hey, I felt like it was maybe a gift. People knew that I lived in the hostel and they were leaving me gifts all the time. And usually what the word gift translates to is shit that can't fit into my backpack because I bought so many presents for my family. That's what a gift is when you're a traveler. When you're a fellow traveler of pretty much a stranger, right? Living in a hostel. A hostel environment, not a hostile environment. HOSTEL for my English as a second language listeners. So, all right. I just looked down and said 1313, and I'm like, yeah, I got to talk back more about magic and what to do. So when you call upon angels, just make sure you call upon, you ask God to send the angels and say, if this person's available. If not, you can use muscle testing or pendulum dowsing, or you can flip a coin and say, this side means yes, that side means no. You could take a special coin that you like and paint with nail polish or a marker, Y and N, if you want. I just bought a brand new, it's called a hobo coin, and it says yes on one side and no on the other. It's so awesome. So I can't wait to use some of these things I bought. They're in customs. So even though I was tasked with this magical purpose today of helping a friend who I helped last week, and then the beings came back, And I don't think she was being shoved into the walls and scratched on her legs this week like she was last week. But anyway, I was tasked with this, and I just started sending love and light. And honestly, I had an instant karma thing, because I had a revelation that the beings that are doing this, they're not trying to attack her. They're being forced and enslaved, right? So I came up with a plan that was going to free them and make them sovereign beings, which means free to go after the people that enslaved them. And so I did that, and I thought about that, and I said, let's have love and compassion for these beings, right? You know, once you get to a point where you love everybody, and God tells you to love everybody, and Jesus says, love everybody as yourself and love your enemies, then you have to task yourself with the grand, monumental task to love all the beings in the world. You've got to love them all. You have to have compassion for them all. Maybe they're demons. Maybe they're reptilians. Maybe they're pedophile priests, you know. Screw what they're doing, but beneath their sleeping evil exterior lies a spark of God. In every evil being lies a spark of God. So you got to have compassion for everybody, right? So I took it upon myself to view this as a holistic project, and I started looking into the people perpetrating these issues, and I looked into their family line a little bit, not too much. Didn't want them to be alerted. And then I looked into the beings that were being enslaved, and I said to God, will the beings come after me if I unenslave them? And God says, no, they're like caged animals. You let animals out of a cage, they're going to take off running as fast as they can. So as soon as I did this, you guys, this is the weirdest thing that happened. All of a sudden, within 10 minutes, 14 of my wish items were delivered within 10 minutes from 14 different companies. Now, if you've ever ordered anything online, even if you order an Amazon order with 10 items, usually the items are not boxed together if they come from 10 sources selling on Amazon. Sometimes if it's in the warehouse, you get 2 or 3 things, and then you have 7 different packages that arrive on 7 different days, and they could be anywhere from 30 to 60 days apart, depending on the company, what it is and where it's coming from. Well, Wish, all the things I ordered, except for maybe 2 things, came from China. The rest came from the United States. So how the hell did they all just magically get delivered within 10 minutes of my making the decision to give love and compassion to beings that I wouldn't normally feel love and compassion for? Huh. Think there's a reward system going on? Yes, it's called karma. So, magic can be anything you want it to be. You know, you can say something is something or represents something, and then boom, there it is. I'm going to give you a really weird idea of what this could be, because when you say you're a witch, baby, you're a witch. I'm not going to say, and I did do a show about this, 17 signs you might be a hereditary witch, which means it might be in your family. But if you say you're a witch, you're a witch. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? If you want to practice witchcraft, then you are. You could say you're a witch and never practice a single thing. Never, put out a pentacle anywhere. You could be a witch and never cast a single spell. Never dance naked under the moonlight. Never howl like a wolf. You could, because none of that stuff is, like some people do, some people don't. It's all as individualistic as you are, as we all are. So if you say you're a witch, you're a witch. And if you are a magical creature, you're a magical creature, period. That's it. That's it. So you don't have to adhere to a calendar, and happy new moon, by the way. You don't need to adhere to a calendar. You don't need to, oh, look, I've got to eat this cake and drink that ale on that day at that hour. You don't have to do anything. You could celebrate all the witchy holidays that Wiccans do this year, and next year go, hey, you know what? I'm not a Wiccan. I'm still a witch, though. That's okay. So I don't want you guys to label yourself and force yourself into a box that somebody else labeled witchcraft. Witch. If you don't like the word witch, you could call yourself a folk magician. You do folk magic. You don't do witchcraft, There are many Christian witches. I'm sure there are Muslim witches. Well, me, but I'm sure there's others beyond me. And actually there's a lot of magic in Islam. There are verses in the Quran that if you read them over a glass of water, and you ask God to bless the water as you read the words, and then you drink it, there's one, in fact, I should look it up. There's a verse in the Quran that if you read it over water and you drink it, you get rid of a fever within an hour. Lots of magic. Well, you could do the same thing with the Bible. I'm sure you could do the same exact thing with the Torah. In fact, the Hebrew language is in itself magical. So is Arabic. So is Latin to a lesser extent, and several other languages as well. Have the older languages that have been used for, and God is telling me Mesopotamian is magic. Who the hell speaks that? He's like, just throw it out there because someone's going to catch on. Okay, all right. I don't know what that means, but... So, light language is magical if you want it to be. Anything you want to be magical is magical. So here's a fun one. Here's a fun little magical spell you can do. Have you ever been to McDonald's or a Burger King? I don't think the McDonald's straws do this. They have weird straws, but... if you ever get a soda or even just a water and you get a straw and you don't put in the water right away, sometimes they just rip it off. They probably won't be doing that now because of coronavirus. But if you take the straw and you take it off in a way that it's super, super crinkly, and you could say, this is my life with all the wrinkles, all the problems, but I'm going to smooth it through. And this water represents all the money and the abundance and the wealth in all of its forms. It's going to come and it's going to smooth out my life. The first drop of water, this represents money. The second drop of water represents leap in my career. The second drop of water means a love in my life, and I mean hot, steamy, romantic, amazing, sexy, but committed, if you want that, love. And now this next drop is going to represent, let's see, friendships. I want friendships. I want real friendships. Not friendships that are codependent, that become blend ships. We want friendships that are solid, healthy, with healthy boundaries. So we're going to go ahead and drop that on there. And as you do it, this straw thing is going to move. It's just going to move on its own. And it looks like magic, right? Obviously, it's not magic. There's a scientific reason why it unravels itself and all the wrinkles go away. I wish I could just splash my face with water and the wrinkles go away. But anyway. But so every drop you put on there, this is all the wealth that I've accumulated from other lifetimes from my good karma. But haven't gotten yet. I am claiming it now, baby. Boom, there's that drop of water. Here's another drop of water that is all the good deeds I've done for others coming back to me in forms of good luck. Here is another drop of water that represents my ideal dream house. Here's another drop of water that represents my good health. Here's another drop of water that represents my body in the best shape of my life, baby. Here is another drop of water that represents my mental health being in top-notch condition. And on it goes. And that's a very simple way to do magic. Just say out loud what a thing represents and by your word, it is made so. It's real magic. Have you ever said something negative and then it happened? And you're like, I hope I didn't do that with my mind. Oopsies. But likewise, have you ever said anything amazing and then that amazing thing came true? That's because you were karmically clear and you were completely clear emotionally. You had no blocks up. You just said something. Hey, I want that to happen. Boom. The other day, a couple months ago, I told my friend how much money I want. Right now, I said, this is how much money I want. A few days later, I got a notification I'm in somebody's will, and that's the exact amount of money that I told my friend I wanted is the exact amount of money that they're estimating my part of the will be. It's hardly any compared to the rest of, the other people in the will. But it's enough for me to live here in Ecuador for, super cheap, super, super cheap for many, 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 many months. Maybe less than a year, but still, wow, that's the same exact amount of money. And I had no block to it when I told my friend. And he said, I want you to know that that money was yours and on its way to you. And then you called it and claimed it into existence. And then you heard about it a couple days later. That's how the universe works. Sometimes it provides you what you want before you want it. God knows you more than you know yourself. God knows every single hair on your head intimately. You tap into that power. That's real magic. Whether you want to accept it or not, you are a magical being. We are all magical creatures. We are imbued with the life and the beauty and the love from the divine. However you view it. I'm not going to tell you how to view it. You're an adult, unless you're not. But either way, you're a divine being. Even the beings we consider evil are still divine beings. They still teach us lessons. And they help hone our skills. Sometimes they give us a run for our money. And sometimes we figure a way out that is the most kind and compassionate way possible. So I'm really grateful about that experience today. That was like, what? I got instant karma. Like, oh my God. The other day, like 4 or 5 days ago, I told my friend that, so I have all these things coming my way, including a present or two from him for my birthday, and he's refusing to tell me what it is. And I'm like, my birthday was in August. Okay, I didn't ask him. I don't want to ask. I want to be surprised. So I'm like, all right. I don't know what he's going to buy me. We've only ever talked about books, right? I hope he bought me a game or something fun, but I hope it's not a vibrator or something embarrassing that I'll never use. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm like, what could he possibly have bought me? Right? I have no idea. I don't know what it is. I know it's not a puppy or a kitten. It's not a pony. I know for damn sure it's not a pony. I have no idea what it is. I'm so excited to find it, but boy, I don't know what it is anyway. So I told him, I go, can you believe it? Here, I thought that our packages were going to be here on the 5th of September. And then I got notification that we will get them somewhere in mid-September. I guess they couldn't get a flight out or something. Or maybe they went for 2 weeks instead. Something happened. I don't know. Probably quarantine in Florida. So, all right. You know what? I am at the mercy of the universe at this point and the people who own the business. So, I trust in the universe, and I trust it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. And then they got stuck in customs. All the bins are stuck in customs. Oh my God. They got stuck in customs last week, and he went on Monday to see his lawyer, and I still haven't gotten an invoice. He expects by the end of the week, and maybe by the weekend, we'll have our stuff. But there was a matter of unpaid taxes from when somebody else owned the company. Oh my God, what a dick. Why would you do that? Sell a company without disclosing? Or like my friend said, maybe they're just, a couple of government officials sticking a gun in the ribs demanding money. Or they're going to lose their business because everyone's stuff is in there. So there's that. All right, fine. All right. And then my friend told me, well, guess what? I live inside a zone that's not an evacuation zone, but in a complete circle around my house, there is an evacuation zone, so nobody can cross the line. This includes UPS trucks, and now they're lined up and down the road just outside the evacuation zone, and then there's like the zone in the middle between his house and his things on his truck, and he's on the trucks. And they just left the trucks there. Well, gee, I hope they don't catch fire, but anyway, they just left the trucks there and, I don't know, Ubered themselves home. I don't know what the hell happened with UPS, but what the hell is going on there? So I'm like, okay, my stuff is stuck in bins and your stuff is stuck in UPS trucks on the other side of an evacuation zone. What the hell? Isn't that weird? And he says, well, let's unblock our blessings. I'm going to do something. So I'm going to ask him. I haven't asked him yet because I've been too busy all day. And he said, maybe if I unblock our blessings today, or, he says, when I get a chance, I'm going to unblock our blessings. Maybe, just maybe, they will come faster. So I know he said that to me 2 days ago about unblocking of the blessings. Maybe it's 3 days. But I did this thing. I did this loving and beautiful and compassionate thing. And then boom, 14 of my items in my most recent order that shouldn't have been there for another month. Some of them weren't supposed to come until November. And oh my God, they all arrived today. Woo, what the hell is going on? I'm telling you guys, karma is real. Sometimes karma is a bitch. A new friend of mine who is a listener, Sasha, she said, Elena, what is karma? What is karma? So all she knows really about it is just the sayings people say. Karma's a bitch. Well, you know what? Karma's a bitch if you are. And karma is not a bitch if you're not, right? Do good deeds for people. Love each other. Pray for people. Love your enemies as yourself. Love all of the people or beings that everyone says they're evil. Oh my God. Don't love the devil. You know what? Love the fucking devil. It sounds weird. Now I'm saying don't take him on a date and wine and dine and 69 the guy. I'm saying what you need to do is love your enemies as yourself. And at first you might attract a couple demons your way because you go, that's weird. And then they're going to basically pull the Lucifer Morningstar from the TV show Lucifer, what is it that you desire type of thing. And you're going to be like, yeah, I really want to get back into that heroin, or I want to steal, or I think I might want to hurt somebody. Now, if those are the kinds of thoughts you still have in your mind, you're probably not listening to my show, but maybe you still are struggling with some of these issues. Addiction especially is a big one. And I'm not going to judge you ever. How could I? I can't. You're just as much God as I am. We are all God. So if a demon comes to you and says, hey, and you don't even know they're there, usually, sometimes they'll try to poke and prod you into feeling sorry for yourself, killing yourself, feeling suicidal, fighting with others, being really angry. Sometimes you don't desire anything but to yell at somebody. Sometimes you just want to start a fight and you want to be mean and spiteful, petty, jealous, So you need to get all that out of your system. Demons help you get it out of your system faster, one way or the other. If you kick the habit and you don't any longer do the drugs or the alcohol or whatever the thing is that maybe it was killing you, maybe it killed someone and you're scared and you're tempted and oh my God, maybe you're just a sex addict, right? If you're a sex addict and you just, ooh, and then one day you wake up and you go, you know what? I think I want to be celibate and I really have a desire to not have desire any longer. And then the demon's work is done. Then they leave you alone. When you literally have no more desires that can harm yourself or others, they leave you the hell alone. Work on your shadow self. Don't call the demons to you, because that's just too much chaos. But if you love everybody, you love everybody, you love everybody. You love everything, you love everything. You love every person in the universe. Even if you are being abducted by aliens and you love them. Love, love, love. Become a love bug. That's all you need to do. Love everyone, everything. And then you start raising yourself so high that you're like, oh, and then you could see compassion. You could see people with the eyes of compassion. I don't want the stupid president to be the stupid president right now, but because he has no business being there. But I have love and compassion for him. He's asleep as fuck. He's pushing that snooze alarm far too many times. He's pretty damn old for having been spiritually asleep this damn long. But he's a narcissist, so you know what? He might not ever learn. And I kind of feel sorry for that, you know? And then I find a little bit of compassion, just a sliver. And then I just allow that to become sunshine. You know, sliver of light, and then that becomes sunshine. We could put a cloche over him. He cannot be the president or have any position of power ever again until he spiritually awakens. I think we should do a collective cloche. What do you think? 1, 2, 3, collective cloche. Put over him. That's it. Tell God to send him love and light around the edges of the cloche, and the minute he becomes self-aware to an extent that he spiritually awakens. And if he never spiritually awakens, then we'll bury him in a damn glass coffin. I'm metaphorically speaking, not for real, but, you know, with the cloche over it. Yeah. Put over his soul, damn it. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. He's not an evil person. He just doesn't know any better. You know? Narcissistic toddler, you know? You don't grow out of the, 4-year-old stage, 2-year-old stage, whatever. You know? It's crazy. Anyway, that's a little bit more about karma. I will try to address a little bit more tomorrow. I did do a show, though, for Sasha, and those of you who are kind of like, what the hell is karma anyway? You know, I hear people have it on t-shirts and bumper stickers, but they joke about it, but what the hell? You put out good stuff, you're going to get good stuff. Put out bad stuff, you're going to get bad stuff. That's a very simplified view. But it's not just this lifetime, it's all of your lifetimes. But if you hurt someone in a past life, doesn't mean they're going to hurt you this time. Maybe you had the task from your divine guidance that you need to know what it feels like to hurt somebody so that you can have compassion for yourself and for them, and you have to learn how to forgive yourself. I had to run a guillotine during the French Revolution. That's not fucking pretty. And people are like ghouls. They were ghoulish. They were like, yay, every time an aristocrat died. And I didn't know these people. I wasn't thrilled with their politics or anything about them. But, I mean, they weren't my enemy. And I had to learn in that life what it is like to take someone's life without any animosity, and how to have love and compassion for myself. And I have love and compassion for them now. I don't know if I did then. I doubt it. But it doesn't mean that someone's going to, it's not me. Doesn't mean I'm going to be decapitated in this life. Doesn't mean I'm going to get in trouble with, be on the wrong side of a revolution or anything this life. Because I learned my lesson, whatever it was. I'm sure there's more to it than I know. But karma is a lot more intricate than what the people on the surface say. It's not always a bitch. Sometimes you got some good karma coming your way. I talked to Michelle. She listens to the show regularly. I did a reading for her last year, told her to definitely just, bite the bullet and do it. Go for your nursing degree. And she did. So let's all send love and light and prayers her way that she passes her exam. She has 2 exams in the next, I think she said the next 3 to 4 weeks. I think one's in 3 days though. Please send her love and light. She's a wonderful person. She requested, I'm not going to talk too much about her family, just please send love and light to her family. they're okay and they're doing okay, but let's just continue that path. She is one of us. I'm sure she's a light worker. And today when I was talking to her and she said she was so happy, she's just beaming like, I can't believe, and she's about my age, she's a little bit younger than me. And she said, I can't believe that here I am at my age, getting ready to have like this new career, and I'm going to make more money, and she's going to be in demand, obviously. RNs are in demand. So, and she thanked me for doing the reading and giving her the encouragement. And of course I would. God, of course. She's one of the most lovely people, And so I had a quick vision, and you know what? She has a lot of good karma coming her way because she was a nurse in World War II. And she said, you know what? I've been having flashes of me being a nurse in yet another life. I'm like, maybe that has always been your path, to help people. Maybe that's her soul signature. Imagine the karma of somebody who chooses to be in the trenches with the soldiers, and that's hard. And now during COVID, to decide to become a nurse. Well, she decided before the COVID came up, but she can't wait to get that, and she's going to be on the front lines, guys. So let's send her extra love and extra light, that she passes her tests and that she is forever safe. It's her good karma that's coming her way. She's preparing a big move. Several of you are preparing big moves, as soon as possible. Let's send love and light to all the people that are moving. Good or bad move, no matter what kind of move, let's send love and light that it all goes good, it all goes smooth, and wherever any of us move to, that we're going to be fresh and happy and mentally okay, healthy. That's good magic, guys. Just sending love and light to the world, that's positive magic. Positive vibes, you don't have to call it magic. And it's also good karma, and you get your good karma too. I always say, hey, it's 1,000-fold. Whatever I do, 1,000-fold. I accept that. And maybe I'll just get, 400-fold. That's okay. Maybe I only get 10-fold or 3-fold. That's okay. But I accept all my good karma because I deserve the good karma based on the good deeds I did. And it's hard for us to accept that. It's hard for us to go, well, I deserve that, without feeling like we're being egotistical and maniacal about it. Just be humble about it and say, I deserve the good love. I deserve to be with my love. I deserve to love myself to the extent that I hope my love will love me. I deserve to feel beautiful and handsome. I deserve to be healthy. Know and claim that deservedness. And I forgive myself for anything I've done wrong. And I give love and light, and I send emotional, mental, Pepsi. I send physical and emotional, psychological, and spiritual reparations to anyone I've hurt in this life or in any other, even in parallel universes, other dimensions, or even in the future. Even though I'm going to try to be a good person, I'm going to send emotional, like physical. And if I say physical reparations, I don't mean you're going to send money to strangers because you think you might have hurt them. I don't want you to hold on to false guilt, but because that doesn't serve anybody. But just send, ask God to give money and abundance and love and life and light to all the people that you harmed in a past life, to make reparations for you. God has all the money anyway. And then let it go and accept your good karma after having done so. Humbly accept, God, I accept anything good that's coming my way. Thank you so much. Help me race through those lessons. If it's bad karma, help me get it right away, so that I can go back and do good in the world. Amen. All right, that's it for right now. We're not going to talk about that anymore. Hopefully that karma talk helped you, Sasha, and any others out there that are, if you've been wondering about this karma thing. There is a show I did about it last year, so go ahead and look up Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast, Karma, just Karma, and you're probably going to find it It may or may not say season 1, but it'll be in 2019. So there you go. Okay. The collective card reading for the day comes from the Literary Witches Oracle, and I drew the card Sandra Cisneros. I love that name. It means swans. Sandra Swans. What a beautiful name. She is an author and a poet. She writes short stories and novels. And she is from Mexico. I believe she's Mexican American, but she did write a couple of her books in Mexico, from what I understand. I have never heard of her, but after I read a couple of the descriptions of her books, I cannot wait to read her books. She is still alive. Let's send her love and light. And what it says beneath her, Sandra Cisneros, it says the body. And it looks like she's holding on to something that's very womb-shaped. And then it has rays of light coming out of it. So maybe she helped people to understand that our bodies are sacred. And of course, I'm getting this on a day that I got a fever. So I'm honoring my body by covering it up with all kinds of blankets. And I know I'm going to love myself enough to put myself to bed early tonight. So I'm trying to get the show done before the bell at midnight that rings, or I turn into, I don't know what, but I have my deadline, my imaginary deadline, because I don't have an actual deadline, but the self-imposed deadline is by midnight California time, and sometimes the show doesn't come out till 3 or 4 in the morning California time, but tonight we're going to try to get it out there a little bit sooner, because I'm not feeling good, and I do need to honor my body. So here we go. The body, Sandra Cisneros. I want to tell you what her books are that she wrote, though. She looks super adorable, by the way. I love these pictures on sandracisneros.com. Cisneros is spelled Cisneros, and Sandra is Sandra. sandracisneros.com. So she says, there's a quote, "We do this because the world we live in is a house on fire and the people we love are burning." It's a quote directly from her website. Didn't think I could get through it without crying, and I was right. Just in that one statement, you feel her love and her passion and her love for other people. She's got a lot of good karma coming her way. Ojalá, inshallah. May God bless her. So, okay, Sandra Cisneros, she's a poet, short story writer, novelist, essayist, performer, and artist whose work explores the lives of the working class. She has won NEA fellowships in poetry and fiction, the Texas Medal of the Arts. That's cool. The MacArthur Fellowship. Wow, that's big. That's actually very huge. Several honorary doctorates. Yay. And national and international book awards, including Chicago's 5th Star Award. Oh, that's an interesting name, isn't it? 5th Dimension, 5th Star. Ooh. Okay, the Penn Center USA Literary Award, National Medal of the Arts, awarded, presented to her by the President Obama. Oh my God. Presented to her by President Obama in 2016. That's incredible. God bless her. So more recently, she received the Ford Foundation's Art of Change Fellowship and was recognized among the Frederick Douglass 200. Yes. And she won the Penn and Nabokov Award for International Literature. She has classic coming-of-age novels, and her famous one is called The House on Mango Street. She sold over 6 million copies. Damn, you go, girl. Woo! That's awesome. And it's been translated into 20 languages, and it is required reading, by the way, in elementary school, high school, and universities across the United States. Well, that's awesome. I'm going to cry again. Good for you. She deserves that good karma, baby. Anyway, she has fostered careers of many aspiring and emerging writers with her 2 nonprofits, including the Macondo Foundation and the Alfredo Cisneros de Moral Foundation. She is also the organizer of Los MacArturos Latino MacArthur Fellows, who are community activists. Yes. And her literary papers are preserved in Texas at the Whitliff Collections at Texas State University. And Sandra Cisneros, she's a dual citizen of Mexico and the United States. She earns her living by her pen. Oh my God, what a dream. She currently lives in San Miguel de Allende. So there you go. That was written by her, probably. And that was in Mexico City in 2018. She looks like a spitfire and an amazing woman. So send her love and light. Try to read her book and understand. I'm sure you could find some essays about, from her online. I did not want to read it because, oh my God, I read something the other day and I realized, it's not 80 years old, and holy crap. That might have been a copyright violation, damn it. So I'm not going to read any of her work, but I wanted to read to you who she was, and God bless her. Amazing woman that she is. Let's go immediately to spaceweather.com. The solar wind speed right now is 315.4 kilometers per second. There are 0 sunspots on the sun. We are officially underway with sun cycle 25. Love that number. It's the day of my birthday. 25, woo, just like a quarter. I always told people that's like the best coin, the quarter. Okay, we're going to ignore the 50 cents and the $1, but whatever. Typical Virgo stuff. Okay, all right. So the sunspot number is, 0. We have gone now 26 days without a sunspot. So there you have it. The Oulu neutron counts coming out of Finland are high today, and they have gone down by 0.5% in the past 48 hours, which is good news. So we're getting a little bit less radiated today. The solar wind flowing from the minor coronal hole should reach Earth tomorrow and the next day. So be prepared. There might be crying, but there also might be amazing, beautiful love energy that just, might make you cry because you're sentimental. So I don't know how it's going to affect us yet. We'll find out tomorrow, right? So let's see here. As far as the All-Sky Fireball Network and NASA's All-Sky cameras, they have captured on camera 10 fireballs over the United States. 7 were sporadic, 2 were I guess that means September, Epsilon Perseids, and 1 was a Southern Taurid. Not T-O-R, but T-A-U-R-I-D. So, as far as what am I talking about? Hold on. HeartMath Institute, they do not have any information to report right now as far as the Schumann resonance is concerned, but the Schumann resonance in Italy was 16 hertz frequency today on the 16th. Remember how weird that was last week? It was 11 on the 11th, 13 on the 13th, 14 on the 14th, 15 on the 15th. Okay, 6. I think yesterday it wasn't. I think it was 11 yesterday. Well, today is 16 on the 16th. I don't know why that's happening. I just looked, and this is 52 minutes and 52 seconds into the show. So, which is backwards 25. See? Good karma coming my way, baby. I'm having it mirrored back at me. I woke up this morning and I said to my twin flame, who I don't know in person yet, I telepathed in my mind, gonna mind talk with him, and we can all, by the way, even if you're not incarnate with your twin, you could always telepath and mind talk with this person. And I did. And I said, hey, love, what are you doing? You up? And he said, hey, yeah, I'm just, kind of doing my own thing right now. I'm like, that's cool. And then I smelled the cigarette smoke that permeated my bedroom. I'm all, you're smoking a cigarette, doing your thing, you're smoking. And he's like, are you going to try to change me? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm gonna love you no matter what. But as a Virgo, I must warn you, I'm gonna give you a lot of frickin' vitamins. Might clean up your diet a little bit. We'll still eat junk food once a week, but who wants to change all the way, right? very weird interaction. And I was like, I love him so much. But that brought up something. And I was talking to somebody today about, what if your twin flame smokes? And I'm like, oh, damn. I mean, I have asthma, but maybe that's why he's not contacting me. I mentioned I have asthma. I'm going to tell you right now, twin flame, my darling, if you are listening to me, I have a solution for everything, baby, because I am a Virgo. And I'm going to give all of you the solution right now. Whether you're, single or celibate or in a relationship, married for a million years, or waiting for your twin, or with your twin, with your soulmate, doesn't matter. If anybody around you smokes, get a personal ionizer hanging around your neck, hanging around their neck, get them one. Why not? It's going to knock all the smoke down to the ground, and you're going to be able to breathe fresh. Now, there's nothing I could do about the bad breath. They're going to have to buy a tongue scraper, and they're going to have to, figure out the breath mint situation all on their own. I can't do everything. Can't do everything, people. All right, I am going to take a quick break for one message. And when I come back, I am going to channel Brother Yeshua, Jesus in the house, y'all. Woo! We love him. Anyway, I don't know what he's going to come and talk about. I really just don't. And I hope to God he heals me while I am channeling him. So we're going to hear from the big guy himself. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm excited. All right. Right after this message. Ooh, 55. Yes. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's high time you did. It is the absolute easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's absolutely free. Second of all, they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. You guys have known that I've been doing this for 8 months using the Anchor.fm app right on my cell phone, and I have done it everywhere, right? I have recorded this in my living room, my bedroom, little cafes in Quito, Ecuador, all over Cuenca. It's so absolutely easy to make your podcast, and editing is just a snap. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you, and it took me about 2.5 months to become syndicated, and now I'm available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more, and so can you. You can make money from your podcast also, and there's no minimum requirement. You get paid from your very first listener. It is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So please, if you are interested in making a podcast of your very own, do not hesitate to start with Anchor. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. All right, guys. Speaking of karma, by the way, I asked God, Prime Creator, I'm like, hey, I really miss eating dates. I'm a Muslim, and it is part of the tradition in Islam. It's not required, of course, but when you are hungry, if you eat 7 dates, that's enough nutrition, minerals and vitamins. Did you guys know this? And it balances your blood sugar, and that can help you. And it just somehow became a tradition because Prophet Muhammad, praise and blessings be upon him, he actually talked about this. It's very good for you. I guess God gave him the divine guidance, and scientists later confirmed it, which is pretty cool. Because, that was like 1,400 years ago, and it's not like the science was out yet. And also, Prophet Muhammad was also not literate. Did you guys know that? He wrote the Quran, and he could not read, and he could not write. He actually had to hire scribes to tell them what the angel of the Lord was saying to him, but only he and Imam Ali, praise and blessings be upon them both, they actually could both see the angel. No one else could see it. Archangel Gabriel, by the way, who is the angel who took our card of Sandra Cisneros, the body, from the deck of cards today. Archangel Gabriel is a gender neutral angel, and they actually have been with us all week. So awesome, right? And I love it because, Archangel Gabriel is known for a lot of literary works, and it's just only fitting that they pick out the Literary Witches Oracle card today, which I'm hoping to get up tonight on my Instagram, which is mermaidgirl888, if you did not know that. And welcome aboard for those of you who are brand new to this. Before I get into it, I do want to have another weird little thing that happened to me, a really cool thing though, because I've been asking about the dates. And I've been like, man, I've been ordering groceries through a service since the the pandemic, for 7 freaking months. Here, we've been under lockdown for 7 months. And thank you, God, we're no longer under lockdown. My son got his dream job. It only took 5 months of praying that this exact job was the one that would be his, and he loves it. Tomorrow's his day off, so yay, gets to rest after 2 days working. And at the end of every work shift, all the staff get together and they have dinner together, and it's free food. I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful. My son's going to get a chance to learn how to cook and how to run a restaurant. It's his dream. So God bless my kid. I'm so excited for him. Anyway, and plus he's getting out of the house, which is always super fun and interesting. And he found a bus that he catches 2 blocks from here. This place is like, literally, if I hired a taxi, I mean $10 to $15 to get to the other side of town. It's like literally the complete opposite area. But the bus goes right there in like 30 minutes. He's at work for 35 cents. That's a miracle. So there's that. That's the first really cool thing. The other thing is that happened to me today after I've been asking, and I've been doing this grocery shopping thing, and they sent me a notification that the macadamia nuts I normally order will no longer be available. And I ordered a different kind, and they said they're no longer going to be available in like a month also. I'm like, what the hell, dude? And I think the cranberries that I order, no longer available. Every super healthy, super nutrient dense food that I normally order from the grocery store, I mean, it would be $6 to $10 for me to take a taxi there and back. But when I do this through the app, the person gets paid. I'm helping someone get with their job, and they communicate with me, so I know what I'm going to get beforehand, and they do a really good job. But and they get paid like $2 or $3, and it's for delivery, and that's it. I mean, like for me, it's like, wow. And they're getting like $4 or $5 out of it, and they're shopping for 4 or 5 people at once. So it's kind of cool, and then you have the delivery person and everything, and it's awesome. But this store keeps limiting all the things that are super nutrient dense, which is really odd. And I'm not going to go into any conspiracy wild theories because we can speculate all damn night. But I was just like, man, I need a source for this. And a better source than what I've had anyway. And so I went to pay my rent today, and I saw this health food store that I'd never seen before. And I asked my landlady's brother, who drives me, he's a total sweetheart, and needs extra money because, pandemic. So he says, oh yeah, I go there a lot. It's actually not terrible prices. It's actually more or less, some things are a little bit high and some things are lower than what you'd expect. So I went in there, guys, and I'm gonna take a picture of the haul. $63 I paid for stuff that if I had bought in the United States would have been over $120 easy, plus taxes. And I'm like blown away. I got 5 kinds of incense. I got cashews, macadamia nuts, goji berries. Like probably $15 or $20 of the goji berries in the States, and it was like $5. I am blown away. Everything's natural, organic, not processed, no salt, no sugar, completely natural. Like the almonds, I'm pretty sure I could soak them and sprout an almond tree. And I got my dates. Oh my God, I got my dates. Now all I need is a date for my twin flame. But okay, I'm not going to harp on that. But I got what I asked God for. I must be doing something right karmically, so thank you, God. I'm so grateful for it. And I just feel completely humbled that this happened. You know, that I've been rising above everything lately. For a while I have, but then, I had a couple rough weeks, but now everything is getting back on track, and in a big way. Here we are at a new moon. We're at a precipice, guys. The moon is waxing. Anything you want to increase in your life from today forward, you got it, babe. There it is. I'm not going to tell you what the new moon means now. We don't have time. But I just wanted to tell you guys that, always take the high road. Always take the high road. I put a positive comment on somebody's UFO video, and all these people kept attacking me, saying it's a blimp. And one guy, he swore at me in a way, I'm not going to tell you what he said. It was insane. It didn't make any sense. I'm like, wow, what the hell? And every time I comment to anybody else that had nothing to do with him, I wasn't talking to him directly, he still kept telling me I don't have a life. And I'm like, says the guy who keeps telling me I don't have a life. And then I noticed that you're making comments on everybody's stuff, and how's that working out for you? All that judgment. And then I blocked him after I said that, because it's kind of funny. I don't want to deal with that energy anymore. And I just send him love and light. God bless him. He'll wake up. He'll know the error of his ways. 2 people did that to me today. I'm like, oh, well, just block him. Send him love and light. Block him, I didn't even react nasty. I was just like, hey, you know what? That's what you want to call me or whatever. More power to you. It's not going to, your life is going to be not very good until you get above that. I was just like, well, if this is a Goodyear blimp, why did it also appear in Brazil and Chile at the exact same time? It like in 6 or 7 places around the world. And why would they not advertise it with the logo on the side in every single place in the world? I mean, you didn't do your research. Just because you're gonna like believe the news that it's that's not a UFO, it's a blimp. Then why did it stop traffic on the I don't know where the hell I'm gonna say the Jersey Turnpike, because it sounds good, but I have no idea but it stopped. All these people are like, oh my god, I'm sorry, like I don't think that every single person on the highway had never seen a blimp before. Blimps are common in the United States, so I don't know. Maybe it was a blimp, maybe it wasn't. But what I said was, hey, around the world, this same quote-unquote blimp appeared at the exact same time. So do you think they're really selling Goodyear tires in Chile? I don't believe that's true. Weirder things have happened, but remember, send love and light to everybody, your enemies and people that are just plain out bitches too. But you could always block them too. Still send love and light, but just block them. You don't need the negative energy, by the way. So I got some amazing karma today, and in spite of my blocking people, I took care of myself. That's self-care, and that's good karma. Just be humble, give people love and light, self-care, block the bitches. I just still love them, hey, it is what it is. All right, guys, I'm already connected to Brother Yeshua. I call him Brother Yeshua. Most of you just know him as Jesus or Yeshua or Yeshua. I used to say his name was Yeshua because that's how I've always said it. And then I realized that everyone's calling him Yeshua. And when I left my house today, I saw the mountain next to the complex where I live, and it's called Yeshua Mountain. I'm literally being protected by Yeshua every day of my life in this new townhouse that I'm renting, and I just paid rent on today. And I was reminded, he's always with us. If you want it to be, you don't have to be a Christian. You could be Jewish and say, hey, Yeshua, you're like my big brother. Can you come help me with something? He will. He doesn't go, well, if you're not a Christian, he never started Christianity. And by the way, incidentally, the greatest witch of all time. He walked on freaking water. He created all these miracles. He turned water into wine. He's the original party hippie. He knows I call him that. And I was with him in that life. I was his little sister. Well, I wasn't. I was his cousin. But he always called me little sister, and I always called him my big brother. And in my life, very young in this life, he walked with me. I had to walk very long ways to school. I was a very sad, abused child, and the 2 miles to school and the 2 miles home from school that I had to walk most days. He walked with me, and I'd feel his arm around me and his robes brushing against my legs, and I felt him and I heard his words, and I wasn't channeling him per se for other people, but I've had conversations with him ever since I can remember. If you are brand new to the show, go back and listen to all the Reverend Marion Jones or Grandma Marion Jones episodes. She was with me in that life as well. And those are amazing episodes, but there's a little bit more to the story of what happened to me, how I died in that life and everything. It's a wild story. But anyway, without further ado, I am going to take a few deep breaths. And by the way, I asked him to heal me. My temperature did come down to 100.0. It was 100.3 when I began the first half. So I'm not feeling terribly bad. I still have all the clothes and blankets on me. Self-care. But I'm in good spirits, and I feel like everything's going to be fine. And I'm just keeping the faith, which is all we can ever do. By the way, I'm an indirect channel, which means I mind talk. That's it. I telepath. I do not allow beings to take over my body, even if they are my beautiful brother, Yeshua. I just don't feel comfortable with that. I mean, I'm a Virgo. I barely want to be in my own body. Why would I want anyone else in here? Maybe if Yeshua took over my body for a few minutes, maybe possibly he could heal it in 2 seconds. I know he could. Doesn't need to take over my body for that. But he says, he just put his hand on my hand. I just feel it. He says, "Don't worry, little sister, I'll help you. I love you, brother Yeshua." And the thing is, when we're sick and then we ask for help and then we get better and then we get sick again, it's like, what the hell? So we have to find the root cause of what's going on. So that's what I'm going to do. As soon as I go to bed tonight, I'm going to just be focused on what did I do to cause a fever right now? What's happening in my body? And I'm going to listen to the internal guidance of that. All right. So brother Yeshua, you want to go? All right. Okay, I just had to let go of Ashtar Sharehan. I just realized I was connected to him. Whoops. Oopsies. Am I connected to Ashtar Sharehan? I'm getting a no on muscle testing. I do muscle testing. Kinesiology does help in this situation. Brother Yeshua, am I connected with you? Yes, muscle testing says yes. You may begin transmission now. Greetings and hello, my brothers and sisters. It is I, Yeshua. Many of you call me Jesus. Many of you call me Jesus. It doesn't matter what you call me because I will always be here for you. I will always be here for you whether or not you are religious. You don't need to be religious. In fact, as you know, I was not a Christian. I was a Jew. I was an Essene, and I followed my path, and I walked to the beat of my own drum that was created by God, to use a metaphor from your world. I walked the path that I walked and became extremely famous, and you might say I was the most famous man on the planet. And still am. And it makes me feel a little funny, a little weird, strange. I'm not exactly blowing on my fingers and rubbing it on my lapel going, hey, look at me. It's frankly a little embarrassing. Because I didn't want people to know and remember me, the man. I wanted people to know and remember my words. Even if they said, who said that quote? I don't know, but it's a good one. That would have been a little preferable to me. But however, the message gets across. Many of you have the message. You get it. Many people who probably would never listen to the show in 1,000 years, if not 1,000,000. Many of the people who claim to be Christians, they claim to follow me, will never get my words. They will never understand what I was teaching. They are stuck on weird ritualistic practices that they created, that they made up. And that's a little frustrating that it's done in my name, like all the time. Did you have to tune it out? He said that. He said he had to tune it out. Really, I can imagine. Can you imagine 10 million people praying to you after you've already done your duty on the earth? You just want to have a frickin' rest? You're in heaven. You're doing other projects now. Yeah. I'm glad you like my 2,000-year-old album. You know, I'm making new music now. I created a new instrument. Whatever. Okay, that's not him. That's not what he's saying. This is me, Elena, saying that. I'm making a joke. But all right, Brother Yeshua, let's get back into this. Okay. I hold no animosity towards the people that pray to me, but I will tell you that I'm not going to help your girls' volleyball team win in my name. I'm not going to make your car run in my name. I mean, maybe I will, but I have pretty much put a blanket of energy around the earth that is my healing energy and is my love and my light. And people can tap into that energy like a help desk on a website, like a help button or a help bell in a hotel. You ask for my energy, that's what happens now. And that's what's been happening for quite a while. I'm not going to show up and help you raise money for your church fundraiser. I'm sorry to say. You're going to have to ask someone else, especially when people are saying something in my name and begging me for money and bringing my name into stuff constantly when they do not understand my work and they did not hear my words. I'm not shaming. I'm not blaming. I'm not mad. A little frustrated, maybe, perhaps. I spent the first few hundred years being quite frustrated with this. After the Christianity religion was invented, I spent close to 500, maybe 600 years a little annoyed. And it's a good thing we don't really need sleep on the other side, because I never would have gotten any. But it has been said by some people who claim to be wise that money, fame, and power are three evils in this world that we can no longer ignore. And a lot of you, he's showing me, a lot of you are nodding your head. Yep, that's true, right, yep. He says, but there's another side of the coin to this, that if you are emotionally unattached to money, but you make money and you call it in, whether it's from magic or prayer to your higher guidance, which I really, really want to recommend that you pray to your higher guidance. You can even say, I want to call upon my higher guidance. Just use those words. Don't call upon specific angels, as you know. Don't call upon me. Don't call upon other ascended masters. Say higher guidance and higher guidance team, spiritual team. And if I'm a part of your team, I will come and be there at your side without a problem. We are able to bilocate the ascended masters, goddesses and gods, you might call some of us. But don't worry. I mean, you're going to get the help you need. It's not like Jesus is better than your higher self, because everything comes from source, and that is a problem when you're not having equality in your society. And there are societal problems based on dumb things like socioeconomic status, culture, where a person was born, color of their skin, gender, identification. These things are extremely hard and difficult. We know all the ascended masters are beaming love and light to your planet at all times, because a lot of these issues still need to be resolved in your world. And they will be in time. They will be dissolved in time. And there will be a time in your future, in your lifetimes, provided you live a few more years, there will be some resolvement of these issues. There will be a time in your life when you can barely remember inequalities, injustice, unfairness. There's going to be a time in your life when you go, wow, that was just a few years ago. Boy, we were living in a nightmare, and now we have waken up. We are awakened. We have the light inside us that we accept. We accept our godhood. We accept our goddesshood. We are enlightened beings from the inside out. Mark my words, listen to me clearly. Hear me clearly, understand me deeply. See your future with open eyes, aided by the hand of God. Your world is transforming big time. He's using my words. It's kind of funny. Your world is transforming in a way that is miraculous and marvelous, and also everything to do with the work you are putting in spiritually to improve yourselves. Don't ever think, are we there yet? Forget it, I'm going to give up. Don't ever think that you are not worthy of this energy. That is to second guess and doubt the creations of God Himself. Know your power, know your rightful place in the universe, which is you deserve every good thing. Stay humble, stay filled with love and compassion, stay filled with kindness. Stay on the course that you're on, and every good thing that you've ever wanted, ever asked for, ever dreamed of is coming to you anyway. Unless it's not good for you, or unless it's going to hurt others. If you're on a spiritual path, we're not going to allow you to buy a car made by slaves, okay? We are going to put you in the path of a car manufacturer that was more enlightened. Or maybe you're going to be flying around in your own car. Your flying car, or a drone, maybe. There's a lot of technologies coming your way, and depends on what timeline you hop onto. Will determine which technologies you get to see. But I digress. I don't want you to worry about that now. Just worry about healing your shadow side, bringing in love and light from the upper cosmos into each individual cell of your body. Ask for the light to shine from within you, outward. Imagine the light of 1,000 suns that will never burn your skin shines from each individual radiating cell. Imagine a golden shield aura around you. Silver, if you prefer, it's fine. Or your favorite color, your color ray, if you want to listen to what Michael Sherahan had to say a few weeks ago. That all works. Focus on the highest possible vibrations. Focus on your love. Focus on your compassion. Focus on love for yourself, compassion for yourself, which we've said many different times. you're going to see a time in your life in which everyone surrounding you is going to be enlightened. For some of you, you might be quite old. Me? He's saying I'm going to be between 68 and 72 when that happens, so great. It might take 20 damn years. But a lot of you listening to me, you guys are like, I think I have a few teenagers, a lot of people in their 20s and 30s. A lot of millennials are listening, so that's a good thing. Just saw a white light out of the corner of my eye. That's awesome. Jesus said he brought his holy guardian angel with him. He has a holy guardian angel. Does that surprise you? He says he thinks a lot of you will be surprised to know. And he says now if he'll hear some of you say, well, he's the Son of God. He doesn't need an angel. I feel this frustrated sigh from him. I am the Son of God. You are the daughter of God. You are the Son of God. Everybody is equal in this light. You might not have come here to become a spiritual master. Maybe you came here to master the art of driving, or the gift of gab, or being an artist, or being the best damn janitor you can be, with a smile on your face and warmth in your heart. Everybody has a holy guardian angel, even I. And you are no less the Son of God than I am. Everybody in the world is the son, the daughter, the children of God, if you want to look at it in that capacity. When I call you guys my brothers and my sisters, I really mean it. You know, we are all on the same path. We are all equals, but some of you are more filled with light inside than others. And I was just far ahead. I was a front runner. I was racing ahead on that path, but it took me several lifetimes to get there. I'm not just a golden child that God beamed down out of nowhere to show off my abilities. I have a lot of religious people that don't get me. Have you ever been in a family in which your family members don't get you? You're a stranger in a strange land, but that strange land is your home. A prophet is not wanted in his own land. I did say that. I did mean that. It's just as true today as ever. Those of you who want to know who I truly am and want to sit at my feet, so to speak, and learn my lessons. A Course in Miracles, those are my words. If you don't relate to that, try to, but if you don't, Tao Te Ching. And if you don't like that, ask me to come and be at your side. Don't ask me to help a fundraiser in my name, you know. It's going to happen if it's meant to be. If it's your good karma for your fundraiser to raise enough money. Whether it's for a good cause or something that's good-ish, like uniforms for children, which is sweet. But you don't need to call upon me in my name. You need to work hard. Be humble. Pray to God directly. Pray to your higher guidance team. And some of you have me on your higher guidance team. So yes, I will come. And I will be there. And maybe I'll give you ideas. You know, if I'm on your personal committee, I might give you some ideas. Hey, go ask that pizza parlor owner over there. Maybe he's going to supply the uniforms. And he's going to supply the pizza at the end of the games. And maybe, just maybe, he's going to give you, he's going to have to advertise, of course, or whatever. I know some of you, a couple, he's showing me like 4 or 5 of you just got upset at the word pizza. That was a trigger word for you. He says the pedophilia thing, he knows about that. And there's a lot of spiritual masters in heaven. They're actually beaming love and light towards that situation on earth. a lot of people that prey upon children are not going to be allowed in the new upcoming world. There will be, a lot of things happen. Hopping timelines to a lesser world, going to the apocalypse, going to die, start over. Some people won't be going to heaven. Some people will be reincarnating immediately on a lesser energetic world, a world with a lower vibration, until they learn. So, all right, he's saying, my apologies if that was a trigger word for some of you. He's sending love and light and smoothing your feathers over now. He's showing me kind of like petting a white duck, kind of putting those feathers back down after the duck gets upset. And he means no disrespect from that. He's just saying that he's showing you your own beauty and your own purity, and how you don't need to be ruffling your feathers over the evil deeds of other people. Thank you. I'm telling him thank you. He says, look at white ducks when they have a golden beak. He says, just on a completely different topic. Those are very powerful colors, aren't they? And that golden beak with the pink tongue inside, think about what those colors mean. And when they say that quack, 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 and they mumble and they rumble. And if you ever go to feed ducks, then you feel better afterwards. The ducks have an energy in their vocal cords that will just cut through many itty-bitty cords that you have tied to things you read in the news, things that people say, energies, like maybe a song that made you sad, or all the weird little petty annoyances that get stuck in your aura that kind of put little blocks or he's showing me splinters. It's like little splinters. You know how you get a splinter in your thumb when you pick up a wood to make a fire? He's showing me that it's almost like little splinters that get stuck in your aura sometimes. You have to cleanse your aura often and regularly, and if you don't, you'll get all these little splinters. He says, some of you look like porcupines. He says, if you ask me, I'll help you cleanse your aura from all these splinters and porcupines. Some of you look like you have a bunch of burrs, like you ran through high grass. And the burrs get stuck in your aura, and he's laughing about it because it's very easily fixed. But a lot of you don't know, and so he's showing me... all right, so he's showing me a blue sheet. It's like Mother Mary's veil. If you're a Catholic, you know what this means. That color blue. And just, he's showing me it's like a silk sheet. And just imagine this just running over your face. And it's just so soft and cool. And imagine it's running through your aura. And it just pulls all the pinpricks and the quills and the arrows and the rocks that get stuck, and anything that gets stuck in your aura. It's just another way to visualize it, just this magical cloth that you could just imagine and visualize. You run it over your aura, your chakras, your body. I'm doing it now because I want to get rid of this. He says this is a way to heal yourself. It's very easy. It's very fast if you can visualize it really well or imagine it. And he says some of you might want to go get an actual blue silk cloth. Silk is very healing. And if you take it outside and you give it a good shake 3 times, that will dissipate the energy of it. Don't shake it over like a body of water, like a pond or a pool, because it will start to gain mold. And he's saying swamp rot. Is that what you're saying? Okay, yeah, swamp rot or... algae, or but it'll be icky and it'll start to smell because it kind of stinks. And people put these little barbs in you, and you shake that energy into a body of water, So he says, but you could shake it into, ask the bushes, the fairies, to take care of it, and then shake it into bushes, or you can shake it over the earth. Ask again if it's blades of grass. Ask the gnomes or the fairies, or just say the beings, the fairies, the devas, the whatever. Or you could ask Mother Earth Gaia. You could ask the deva of your yard, the deva of your neighborhood. And these are unseen beings, unseen forces that are here they're like angels for the plants, angels for the earth, the rocks, the trees. And they will take care of any negative energy that you have to dissipate. They're very good at it. They're like spiritual masters of dissipated negative energy. And they will go set about to work immediately. But if you ever shake it over a body of water, like say you're at the ocean and you shake it, and you're like, oh no, I just put negative energy into the ocean. Just ask the spirits of the ocean to take care of it, and they will. But if you forget, then that's when the water goes bad. He says, and by the same token, you can imagine running in your mind, get a big blue cloth and run it like a sieve, the silk cloth, through all the oceans. Very pale blue energy, pale blue like silk cloth. And just run it through all the oceans, all the lakes, all the streams, and ask for them to be healed. And that's a fun visualization that you can use to heal yourself and others, as well as all the points and parts of nature that you feel are in dire need of it. But I wanted to tell you to always ask God to bless your work if it's meant to be. If you're if you're not yet hearing the voice of God, keep asking. That will come. Telepathy is a gift that you will all have. Don't ever be frightened of these gifts, and don't ever be jealous of other people that have these gifts, because if you are, you're going to block your own blessings, and then you'll be more jealous because they have it and you don't. So if you just say, I'm so grateful that person over there has that gift, because that means that gift is going to come online for me too soon as I believe it. It's a matter of accepting it and believing it and loving it and being humble. Just accepting it with humility. And he's like showing me, because my friend's phone, she used in her sleep, used telekinesis, floated her phone through her house, turned it on and made a video, and captured the being that was harming her on video. It's creepy. And there's a lot of growls in the video. It's very, very weird. But I was like, man, where's my kinesis at first? And I'm like, well, no, that's good. If you got kinesis, kinetic powers, then that means I'm going to. You know, look how long it took Luke Skywalker to lift that ship out of the swamp. Because he didn't believe in himself. It's such a good spiritual message, right? He's like, oh, using his force, I'm forcing it. And that's not how you use the force of God. That's not how you use the source of God. You believe you have the power, and you humbly ask God to show you your light. And then you accept your light, and you see your own light. And this is what you all need to do now. Your world is about to get unsettled, chaotic, and wild, but it's going to be followed by 1,000 years of peace that you were promised. And of course, it could be more than that. It might be 3,000 or 11,000 years of peace, but it depends on you and what timeline you hop to and what your soul wants you to experience. And I'm not saying that you're all going to live 1,000 years, but I'm saying that your children, grandchildren may very well live in the ideal world that you always wished this one could be. And isn't that a wonderful and marvelous thing? He's using marvelous because I said it earlier. Like, I think yesterday, maybe today and yesterday. He says, yeah, because, when you channel, the person that you're channeling will take ideas from your mind. They'll pluck things that you've said or things that you've been thinking of, because it's at the ready. It's easy to grab from the grand repertoire of possible words. That's one that's literally on the tip of your mind, and you open yourself up in the book of your mind. Your aura is open to that person while you're channeling. Yeah. And he says, you are my little sister, Elena. I know you are. I know I am. Sorry. He says, we have been through a lot together, really, because I only remember the one life. He's like, oh, I've walked by your side so many times in so many lifetimes. It didn't matter your religion or whether you knew I was there or not. And he says, I've done the same with a lot of you, actually. And time is nothing. Once you know that everything is an illusion, I could go back and walk through all of your past lives today. And it won't take me much time at all, even though to you it took thousands of years to get through them. Unfree yourself. Unhinge yourself from the matrix. Unconnect, disconnect yourself from all the stuff you're buying into. It's easier said than done, and a lot of people don't know what we mean when me and other spiritual masters and even extraterrestrials have been talking about this for a while through telepathy and channeling and indirect and direct channeling, both. Channeled messages, automatic writing, and the like, even through light language. We're trying to get you to open and expand your heart, your mind, your soul to the field of all possibilities. You can use metaphors that many of you love, such as a flower opening. It could be a lotus or a rose or even a sunflower, whatever flower tickles your fancy. He always says the strange ones for me, for my mind. Flowers are good. He knows that Ashtar Sherhan said flowers the other day. So, he says flowers help. Flowers are beings of light. The spirit beings in the flowers themselves, from the plants themselves. They go with the flowers. And the flowers are cut. They go and they try to make the recipient feel good. In the case of funerals, the people who are crying the most usually get the most fairy hugs and kisses and loves. They send all kinds of magical light and love. That's why a lot of people start to laugh during a funeral. It seems highly inappropriate, doesn't it? But a lot of times, that's what's happening. Literally, the fairies are lightening the mood, lightening the load, because they understand, just like your soul understands, that dying is not that big of a deal. In fact, it's a cause to be celebrated. On the other side, of course. And some of you do celebrate, some of you don't get terribly upset, and some of you, you're crying for days over it. And that's why the fairies, they come to you in flowers. That's why when young love is blossoming, blossoming. Oh, you're funny. He says, I know you like puns, Alina. This is why I had to do this, little sister. Okay, great. Let's get back to that statement, because I see what you're saying. Okay. When young love is blossoming, and one love brings to the other love in the relationship a bouquet of flowers, or even one flower, the fairy folk that have come along for the ride because they're curious who's going to get the flowers, they will start to weave their magic so that the love can happen, and they can tell if the person is right for the other person or not. And if it's not, they just bring love and light to both parties, and they help them to open their eyes a little more so that the relationship doesn't last too long if it's not meant to. And they could tell there are, you're seeing supernatural codings. That's strange. Coding. He's saying there are supernatural codings that only some beings can see between you and your potential partners romantically. And the fairy folk will see, and they know how to start to weave you together, or how to separate you, but with love. And when flowers are purchased, it's like an unspoken agreement from heaven, from way back before the people were born, that the flowers would do their work. The beings of the flowers will do their joyful work of creating a connection, or creating a disconnection with absolute love and light, so that the blows are softened This is just one amazing secret to the universe that possibly, potentially, was never shared until this moment in time. He says, I am Brother Yeshua to many of you. I'm Yeshua, or Jesus to many of you. I came here to clear the air about a few things, as I usually do, and give you information about your world and matrix, as I do, and to give you quite a bit of hope for your future, as I try to do. And I cannot stress or emphasize enough how much I absolutely love each and every one of you. And again, this is outside of religion, outside of religious teachings or anything you find in books. I love humanity, and that's why I became the person that, well, you know me to be. My heart is with each and every one of you who asks for my help, who asks for my presence. And again, if you're just asking for donut money or something, then my energy is still there. It's going to come to you. But I'm not going to be bothered with something unless you are asking me to come and be at your side, help you through a hard time. I will love and comfort you, not for a minute or an hour, but for 3 weeks or 3 years, maybe even 30 years if that's what you need. You can ask for uniform money. I don't want to discourage anybody from asking for anything, but I am encouraging you to ask your higher guidance, and I am encouraging you to call upon me for the harder things. If you've been through a violent act and you need to get through it and over it, if you're going through a health issue or a crisis, if you're going through a relationship breakup, that's okay. The things that are hard, the things that you need help with, you're worried about your health, you're worried about your financial situation, I'll be there, and I will sit watch, and I will send angels to your side. Just ask. And again, you don't have to be any religion at all. I am your brother. We all are one. My heart is always with each and every one of you, whether you ask or not. But when you directly ask me, I will come and be at your side. You know, unless my energy that I've already left on the planet for all of you can be utilized for the thing, and you don't require my presence, then I won't come in that case, basically. He says he wanted to clear the air on that. Yeah, there was an example when I was a kid. He said, my high school gym teacher, she was also the girls' basketball coach and the volleyball coach. And somebody asked her one day, actually her name was Sandra. Ironically, that name came up twice now. Sandra, who I went to church with, who was acting all sweet and friendly to me until we became adults, and now she just thinks I don't know what she thinks, but she is scared of me. Probably because of my spirituality, my witchiness, I don't know. Our energies don't gel, but I love her very much. But she asked a question that has always stuck in my mind, and she said, when you have two volleyball teams and they both ask Jesus to come and help them win, crush their enemies, who does Jesus listen to? How does he know which team to help? And the coach just said, I don't know. I think maybe he just prays for everybody. And it's based on your ability and your belief, right? You know, it's just like a very simple answer, but what do you think about that, Yeshua? He told me to tell you guys a story, like that little moment in that's stuck in my mind. That's my moment in time that I remember from my perspective. So what do you think? He says, yeah, it depends on the faith and the belief of the people, but everyone's allowed to pull in energy, but it's from that grid that I created. And there is a Christ consciousness grid. There's the healing grid. This is yet another layer that I have put around the earth for he says, he keeps saying petty, but he's like, I don't want to say petty because nothing is too petty. Nothing is too small of an ask. But when it's something that's seemingly petty, and if you're going to be a human with a judgmental mind, and he says, I don't encourage that. But if you were and you think, oh, that's just petty, Jesus, get the wine out of my tie, those kinds of things that are just, it doesn't really, in the grand scheme of things, it matters today, in this moment, in this hour, maybe in this week or month, but next week it won't matter, next year, in 50 million years from now, it's not going to matter. But he says, even with the little things, I put the energy around the planet. It's perpetual. I renew it. Don't worry. And if it's a little thing, I'm not going to be at your side, because energy will help you. I have imbued this with my own Christ consciousness and my own life force. So it's just the same as having me there. But if you are dying and you need me to sit with you while you're in the hospital, if you are alone, if you are lonely, if you are in some kind of actual really big emergency, I am able to bilocate. I am able to come and be at your side immediately. Call upon your spiritual guidance teams and add me to your team if you wish. If you have a spiritual guidance team. Now he's telling me, guys, Elena, make sure you tell people what to do. Yeah, maybe we'll do that sometime this week, like in the next day or 2 or 3 or next week. He says, I'm going to hold you to it. Yeah, please do. I don't want to forget. So he says, all right. He goes, I do love each and every one of you, because each and every one of you is a different aspect of me, and I'm an aspect of you, and we're all aspects of God, the divine creator. Know that we're all a whole. We're all he's saying WHOLE. We are all whole. We are one. We are all together. And all of our wildest and most amazing, beautiful, loving dreams are about to come true. He's like saying 5-6 years out, 4 to 5 probably, most likely. All depends on us. Get through your shadow work, get through your shadow side. Ask me to help you with that. I will. Ask God to send you angels and helpers to help you with all that. And He will. Goddess will. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, they will. Don't think we're all just a bunch of patriarchy energies floating around. Call upon the female energy, and don't feel ashamed or guilty, and some of you do, and that's why I'm mentioning it. A lot of you do feel it. But isn't God going to smite me if I don't pray to only Him? No. There's much more love in heaven than that. The only smiting that goes on is a judgment that happens between neighbors when they're unawake. And with that, I send you the most beautiful love and light. Shine bright like a diamond, as one of my favorite, he says my favorite song is, he says favorite line from one of the modern-ish songs. Shine bright like a diamond, because that's what you are. Your soul is beautiful and pure and perfect. Be humble. Embrace that. Embrace the light on the darkest of days, and you're going to be all right in every possible way. I am Brother Yeshua. With the God in me, I bow to the God in you, and I send you blessings, and I give you peace. End transmission. All right, well, there you guys have it. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. I love you too. I love each and every one of you too. Yay. Me, Elena, talking now. I wanted to say thank you for those of you who have been listening for a very, very long time. And I wanted to say thank you to those of you who are brand new, just tuning in now. I love all of you. I've worked a lot on myself and my shadow side to the point where I can honestly say I love every human on earth. I love every being in every dimension, regardless of the bad deeds they supposedly did. Because everything is a spark of the great divine, and I know that. I know that. And I'm going to help you to know that too, at the core of your being. So stick with it. Keep coming back day after day. Tell your friends, tell your Facebook groups, especially the spiritual groups, people who would be interested in the show. I know like 12 to 30% of the population has some interest or other in spirituality, metaphysics. I try to bring in the science that proves what we're physically going through with the ascension symptoms. Hopefully we'll try to get to some of those tomorrow or the next day. But that's it, guys. I'm going to go because I still have a fever, but I actually feel a little bit less feverish than I did before I spoke to Brother Yeshua. I think he did heal me. I felt him put some energy into my chakras a little bit. But I am definitely going to have to maybe go eat something, maybe take a nap, a long nap, 8, 9, 10 hours, and see what happens. Anyway, that's it for now. I will be back tomorrow with all unique and original programming, just like always. If you need a reading or a channeling, I will channel. Well, Jesus for if you want. God, your higher self, your Aunt Tilly, your great uncle Ned, whatever you need. I will channel whoever you need for whatever reason. Also, if you I'm going to start throwing this out there. I'm not going to officially announce it yet, but I will do a pre-recorded hypnotherapy session tailor-made to your specific situation as well. I am a certified clinical hypnotherapist with, like 26, maybe even more, 26 years of experience. So, and also I'm a doctor of divinity. I'm an ordained minister. I am a Reiki master. If you need Reiki, just let me know. In fact, with any reading, the Reiki is free. If you want to give me a donation, I will still send you Reiki and hook you up to the healing grid and the Christ consciousness grid if you wish. Just let me know. Anyway, you may find me, direct message me at mermaidgirl888 on Instagram. It's the easiest way to find me. And also to see a picture of the card of the day. Sometimes I'm a day late, but I always get it out there. I'm going to send you, or put up you guys pictures of my awesome food that I found. It's all vegan too. It's awesome. I'm not a vegan, but the food I've just bought is. So I'm going to send you guys that and the positive abundance and blessings, and I'm going to put energy into it. So when you look at this picture, the blessings and abundance are going to flow to you too. That's it, guys. That's all she wrote. This Heyoka Lightning Shaman is going to bed. Anyway, that's it for right now, guys. I love you with love and light. Okay. Signing off with peace and joy and the high vibrations of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time, guys. Peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.